Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Voices from the Mausoleum, and welcome to an episode of Found Footage Fridays, a series where we talk about found footage on Fridays. And I'm back with my co-host, Mike and Serial.
Hi, everybody. It's Mike and Serial, and welcome to Found Footage Fridays. Hope you're having a great Friday. Hope it's even better now that you're watching us.
And go buy our merch so you can match us.
Yes.
Link in the description. um, so this was sort of my week to pick is not really how it's worked out always, but I did pick this one for this subject for this week. We're both out of it today. Good grief. We're professionals.
Yep.
So I have been kind of an advocate for these filmmakers since I did the 30 days of found footage because I watched 3 of their movies, I think during that time, or really close to that time, if not during that time. And this started with the movie Stay, which I did a very short little review of on my own. Um, but today we're going to be talking the 2024 movie Himalaya. Um, I'm sure you can guess this. You can watch it on Found TV. Um, a short synopsis: cryptozoologist Yuma Sato enters a newly discovered Himalayan ice cave to search for the mythical snow ghost. Broadcasting live, his camera reveals shocking finds. Is it an internet hoax or a major scientific breakthrough? Y'all, this is Yeti found footage.
It is Yeti found footage. We love cryptids on this show. I don't
Listen,
I don't think I've seen a Yeti found footage before.
no, just Bigfoot, which is like the non-snowy version, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, okay, so I really love these filmmakers. So the guy he's usually one of the main characters, but he's the writer director. I'm working on Found TV. I'm like, come on, I need these emails. um, so I watched Stay and I freaking loved it. It was very refreshing. They have another one on Found TV that I just want to give a quick shout to before we jump in, and that's Ghost of Hiroshima. So they always it's usually him, and then the main female is usually they're usually in them together. They're both in all 3 movies. And she a therapist or a doctor or whatever in this one. Um but yeah, we'll get into it. What are your unspoiled thoughts on Himalaya?
So my unspoiled thoughts. Oh, let's see. I will say this was entertaining.
Yeah.
I was not bored.
Mm-mm.
Um, this was a movie. This was a movie. I
No.
I do like Ghost of Hiroshima, I think it was.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
seen that one. I did like it.
Okay.
I did not hate this movie.
Okay.
I did not love this movie.
Really?
I wanted to. I wanted to
What?
love Yeti found footage.
Oh God, I
Um,
love this movie.
I know you did, and I was like looking forward to it. And what I will say is, I had an unintentional, campy good time with this,
Yeah.
and that's what
I
I
mean,
will.
have you seen in the movie's defense? Have you seen the poster? Like,
So what I will get, the things that I will say, and they're not spoilery,
yeah,
where things fell apart. Well, you know what? Actually, my high praise also becomes my low praise for this movie.
okay,
Um, I saw someone say, and maybe it wasn't done in their backyard, but I know that they performed a miracle making this snow and getting this backdrop and to
yeah,
look like they are in the Himalayas. Um, I will give them credit for making something out of nothing. With that being said, I did see the boxes in the garage in the background.
oh, I didn't
I
even
did
notice that.
start to see it fall apart. The image, the mirage was starting to wear off in towards the end of the film
Oh, see, I didn't
where
even
I'm
notice that.
seeing trophies, I'm seeing
I didn't even notice that.
background, and it really took me out of it. I
Oh,
wanted to love it, but that was a huge
dang.
but. the fact that they were still able to knowing that that's their backdrop, that they were like, we're doing this either in a garage or in a small studio or something, and
Yeah.
they made it the way that they made it look. I will give them kudos.
Yeah.
For me, I hate that it kind of fell apart there.
Yeah. I no, I loved this one. I love the idea of like live streaming it. I love the science they tried to put into it. I loved the having the different perspectives of having the doctor there and having the wife there, and you've got the interviewer guy and you've got the guy in the tent is the writer director, by the way.
Yes.
Um and he is I love him. I feel like he is probably very funny in real life. Like I don't know why I get that impression.
Oh, I
Um
think so too.
but I love the guy that played our cryptozoologist. I love the idea that cryptozoology is even included because it's like people forget that that's a real
Yes.
thing. Like when I went to the Mothman Festival, I met a cryptozoologist there who had done all kinds of stuff, but he uh he did books on all kinds of stuff. But anyway, they're very cool people and they have a lot of really cool stuff to say. And I'm always interested because big crypto fans over here. But
Off
anyway,
screen, off screen, we're gonna have to talk about you going to a Mothman festival.
you didn't know I went to Mothman?
No, and I didn't know that there was one, and now I have so
Every
many
year in West
questions.
Virginia. Bro, it
So
was a
many
bucket
questions.
list. It was a bucket list item for me. I went 2 years ago. Well, almost 3 years ago now, but there's pictures of it on my Facebook.
Okay.
The I mean the channel Facebook, not on my regular one. But
Okay.
yeah, it's no, we'll chit chat. Look, I
Yeah.
love Mothman. Mothman is my thing.
Well, I was like, I know you love Mothman, but I didn't
Uh-huh.
know that there was a festival that you went to it. So we'll
Mhm.
talk about that later. But
Yeah. Anyway,
yes.
but cryptozoology, it having like an
Yeah.
official role to play in this sorry, the dog deserves pets. He's a good boy. So I'm like leaning over and petting. He's leaning, "Hi, buddy." And so he's gonna break my arm. Anyway, yeah, I loved all of that. I think that I always love like the main the woman that played his wife I think was probably the most compelling out of everyone
Mhm.
because she just existed kind of in this like don't come in my house and talk shit about what my husband is doing.
Yeah.
And I was here for that. I was like, you tell them, like, you tell them. But I just really love the setup for this. I love the idea of, because again, I will say this every time it comes up. Cryptids are meant for found footage. They
Yes.
just are. Make more of them. Make more because they are literally by design found footage. Like so it was just a lot of fun. I thought what they were able to do with the suit was really fun the scares and the noises and the atmosphere. And I just was very impressed with this. And again, these are filmmakers that I found on accident. And actually, what was even funnier was I watched all three movies before I finally was like, these people look so familiar to me. Why do they look so? And it's because I've been watching three of their movies pretty much almost back to back. And so I kind of this gets a little higher probably just because I love them and what they're doing in our subgenre that we love. And so I loved this. I know you weren't like a super big fan, right? But what do you rate this?
So I am gonna rate this a four
Oh,
videotapes out of 10.
Mike, you're
Because
killing me, man. Okay, go ahead.
I I wanted to love this one. I really did. And there were things that I did enjoy because like conceptually this was a
Oh, yeah, great concept.
strong concept. Like
Yeah,
and
agreed.
I just again I'm going to give them so much kudos on making something out of nothing. I think that's very difficult to do. And what they had to do, he was cold. I believe that he was freezing.
Right.
Um,
You
I
said he
love
was cool.
like he was, and I liked, like you said, the detail was there, like the cryptozoologist, like
Mhm.
they conceptually well done. Actually executed, this was not for me. There were parts that just kept falling apart for me, and then once I started getting taken out of the environment that they built for me, then I
Mhm.
was really like just losing my way as
That's
I went.
crazy. I didn't
Um,
even notice any of that. That's crazy.
But yeah,
We're different people, though.
yeah, I wanted to like, and I will still 100% look out for whatever they do because creatively, I think they are knocking stuff out of the
They
park
got it.
with
Yeah.
their minds. And
Oh my
same
god.
thing, I will just compare them to someone that I do like, and I'm critical of his work as well, but Isaac Rodriguez, great mind. The movies don't always live up to his concept,
I know.
but I think his mind is needed for this genre so
He's
that people can
so
try and replicate.
creative. I agree with that. He's so creative. His movies are so miss for me.
Yeah.
There are very few that I really loved, but yeah, I agree with that. And I think that's probably kind of where I am with this too, because not only is it a cryptid, it's Yeti, which is hilarious.
Yes.
And but I really love these filmmakers and I love their did you see Stay? Have you watched that one yet?
Is that the one with the mannequin?
Yes.
I have seen it.
So see, I loved that one too. It went in some directions I don't think I was necessarily expecting. And it was just so I that's the first one I watched. I actually watched that with our middle kid. He loved it. He thought it was so good. And then I saw Himalaya on Found TV and I was like, "Oh, of course, duh. Gotta watch this." And then randomly like a day or two later, I was like, "Oh, this one looks cool." And it was all the same filmmakers. But so I do have tons of love for them.
Yeah.
So my rating is substantially higher than yours. Um, not that you don't love the filmmakers, but I just mean in general, it's substantially higher. So I would give this an 8 out of 10. I think this movie has a lot of heart. I think it's very ambitious for a found footage probably budget, right? I think that this team is creative. They're smart about things. They're also very funny and charismatic. And I mean, that suit for that Yeti, I mean, sign me up. That was a blast. I had so much fun with this movie. And I'm like, I got to the end of it and I was like, I love this movie so much. Like, but and it's funny, right? Because I'm not usually the let's have fun with horror. Like, I usually like the really dreadful stuff where it's like really sad and depressing and dark. But this was just a chill movie to just hang out, watch it, laugh, enjoy it, see what's going on in the background, wait for something bad to happen. Um, like, I think, like, at one point well, we'll get spoilers in a second. Yeah, it was fair I almost forgot what part we were at. Um, yeah, I loved this. This was an easy 8 out of 10 for me. I think this is a really fun found footage, and I'm telling you, anything that these filmmakers touch, I will be seated for because I think, like you, I'm just copying what you said. I think they are insanely creative, and I
Yeah.
love what they are doing. And God, we need it, dude. Like, I'm so sick of the same thing over and over again, and I can honestly say nothing I have seen from them is copy and paste from anything else I've seen.
Yeah,
So,
and
it's been great.
that's what I will say, while
Yeah,
this movie is not for me, like I said, I
yeah.
have to give them their kudos because this is we've mentioned this in another, one of our episodes together where I said I don't mind or don't ever if just because I don't like something doesn't mean that I don't appreciate it or the
No,
people that
sure.
worked on it, because this is a perfect example of this was not for me, but I'm so happy it was for you.
Yeah,
And for this team in general, though, just gotta give them their kudos because, like you said, it's creative. They're not doing the same thing that other people are doing.
no.
Uh, and even people can say, "Well, it is just another cryptid." We're just getting, and don't get me wrong, guys, give me as many Bigfoot movies as you want to, but there are so many other cryptids to explore. So I'm glad that we went with a Yeti. While it is comparable to a Bigfoot,
Sure.
they still like. Again, I'm gonna keep going on about they made a Himalayan mountain in
A
their
garage.
yeah, in a garage, basically. I would love to find out what they actually did, but
Yeah.
they
I'm
just
putting it in the universe. I wanna talk to these filmmakers so bad. I have
this
not been able to find them on socials or anything, but I'm like, I would love to talk to them.
this movie was not for me, but the team is a group that I'm gonna consistently look out for.
Yeah,
Does
I
it
agree.
not matter if it's a hit or a miss for me? I'm gonna watch it if they do it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I love them. I don't know that there's like a ton of spoilers per se. But we could talk about maybe some favorite moments or something. So the moment I was going to bring up a second ago was that part where he starts to lose oxygen, or I guess that's not the best way to say it. When he starts not being able to catch his breath and he has to change out the things and get the oxygen. So one of my like I think it's because I'm claustrophobic and I'm also have a fear of water. Like I just anything that makes me feel like I can't breathe overwhelms me. So I will say that while I don't think this is a super scary movie, I think that that part really had me kind of on edge because I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, there's no way he dies this early because that happens kind of early on. And but that scene in particular, I was like, and then you got his wife watching. I'm like, oh my god, someone please get this man some fucking oxygen. I was like freaking out. I was like, please somebody help him. Um, but yeah, I think that was one of the moments that one of really probably a little few probably few moments, but where I just felt like a little bit of the oh like I felt a little scared for him because I was like he's like way up here like he only has this one lifeline. He can't breathe. He's old. Like what are we gonna do? Like
So for me, up again, and I promise I did appreciate this movie, but the main things that are going to stand out are not always for the best reason. You
yeah
did bring something up earlier, and it's something that I did want to touch on because
yeah
it didn't work for me. And I was
okay
curious to see what they were going to do because so they're not showing a lot. We do know they're in the Himalayan mountains. They're talking about the elusive Yeti. So my whole thought was, what are we going to get? What kind of Yeti are we going to get? What were they able to come up with?
yeah
When the Yeti showed,
uh-huh
I immediately just was like,
aw
it made me laugh so hard because
oh
the
no
first thing I thought of was those old cartoons from like the claymation Santa Claus movies from way back when,
you are
like
not about to say
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer,
no no
the
no no no
Abominable Snowman.
no.
That was my first thought, was that he became an alcoholic and they found him.
He made like a backstory.
Yes, like I found him.
Uh,
He was distressed. Uh, it it really like was such a let. I don't know what I was expecting because I was not expecting like this really over the top
no,
animatronic because
my expectation was what we got. I think honestly, if I'm honest,
yeah,
again, poster. I go back to the poster because that was like I saw the poster and I was like, got it. You know,
I don't know what was going in my mind, but when I saw it, I'm like, and I just couldn't stop laughing.
you know the Bigfoot suit in Exist.
Yeah,
Do you know how much that suit was?
200.
No, it was over half their movie budget. It was like 30
Oh,
grand.
oh, okay. I didn't know.
So my only point in bringing that up is because I had the like stars like in my eyes. We got to talk to Jamie Nash, who was one of the writers on that one. He's worked very closely with Eduardo Sanchez on other projects, but that one in particular, I was
Yeah,
like he came on to promote another movie, and I was like, while you're here, can we please talk about Exist for a minute? Because as you know, we both have a lot of love for that movie.
yes,
So my point is he was like, no, he was like, when you see these like elaborate monsters and creatures, he's like, that's like most of the budget because they're so expensive to
yeah,
make them look real. And so I knew going into this, they ain't have no $30,000 suit budget. So I just was prepared because as much as I love Exist, they're so quick to move away. I don't even know how perfect or imperfect that $30,000 suit was or however much it was. Go watch the episode if you want to know how much it was. But I was not disappointed because I I think just expected that I didn't go in I went in with expectations around the acting and the story because that I think is a strength for them. I think they do a really good job with that. And some of the effects and stuff that they do is really well done too. But this one in particular, I went in with a very low bar because I know how expensive these damn suits are. I mean, you can't even get one that even looks like this for $50 from damn what is it? Spirit Halloween. Like
Yeah.
they're hundreds of, they're expensive. And so I just went in assuming, honestly, is really the only reason.
And maybe that's it too, is because like I didn't know that even a more simpler costume would be so expensive. The reason why I said 200 because I was like you said, it was everything in Exist was so quick that I was like, they probably just bought like one of those gorilla costumes.
I don't,
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
but okay, that's good to know, and that does make a difference. Um,
yeah. We knew this was
again,
gonna happen eventually, though. We
yeah,
knew we were gonna get to a movie where we were just, like, kinda split on.
I know
I did
we
not think it was gonna be this one, Mike, but that's okay because we genuinely, even though we've been pretty much on the same page for so many of the ones already before, we really do have different things that we're looking for in found
yeah,
footage. We knew this day was gonna come.
we knew it was coming. And when you picked this movie and I watched it and you said how much you loved it, I was like, depending on which movie goes first, I know we're gonna have a large discrepancy
Mhm.
in this one. I knew this one was coming, just like another movie that I know is
Another one
coming
is gonna be a
is gonna be
huge
huge.
divide. That one I
Uh,
think is gonna be bigger than this one though,
I
if
do
I'm
too.
honest. But anyway.
I have a feeling. I have a feeling I know what it's gonna be. But with this one, yeah, I was like, I didn't want to say too much because I was like, I just
Well,
want
I'm
to see
glad you
where
didn't.
this
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and again, for me, this four comes from it's one of those movies, and I've mentioned this before, and
Yeah.
this becomes a theme for me is I see the potential in a movie, and if it didn't fully get me somewhere, then I start to think of what could have been. And while that's not
Yeah.
always fair to the movie, I understand that because I'm not the
No, no,
one who
no.
created it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like there were strong aspects in this movie, and to me, the strengths here was their creativity.
Yeah. They are
Um,
very creative.
for me, the execution didn't live up to their creative minds. However, it just you can't take that away from them. Like you said, the acting was pretty well done. I really think the strength lied in the guy who was frozen. That he was in the
Yeah.
Himalayas. I think he did a great job doing what he was supposed to do. I felt every single time that I felt that he was in peril, I felt that for him.
Yeah.
Um,
I
I
liked it.
thought everything that they were doing was really good. When they
Mhm.
had that, when they found that letter of like the person
Oh, I
who,
forgot about the letter. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. Yeah.
letter was a strong point for me.
That was good.
Because
Yep.
it is, I think that's a relatable letter to a lot of people. Um,
I agree.
so that was a great point for me. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I just wish there was a little bit stronger things here and there. Um, but yeah, this team they got something going for them, and I will not take that away from them at all.
We need it. Genuinely in this subgenre, we need minds like this, filmmakers like this because first of all, they work so well
Hmm.
together. I mean, they did 3 movies together and they are just great. Like they just work so well. Um, but they are, yeah, they're so creative and they just do great stuff. And I think a little bias on this one just because I do love this team, but I really did just have so much fun watching this. Like I was like, I don't know, I was just like invested in it. And it had a little bit of the not mockumentary, it's somewhere in between like mockumentary and content creating. It's
Yeah,
like somewhere in between the two things. Um, but genuinely, like if you haven't seen their other stuff, I do think that these filmmakers, if you love found footage and you're looking for something different, this guy's where it's at because he is making really bananas things that just hit in different ways because they are so unique. And yeah, like I said, anything that this team touches, I don't even think this is all of their films. I'm pretty sure they have other ones. And I don't know if I either just didn't get to them and forgot to go back,
mhm.
or they may not be on Found TV. I'm not sure. But I know that they have other films. And I'm like, I gotta catch up.
And then just I mentioned him before, but just like Isaac Rodriguez with this team,
Mhm.
what's really cool about them, we're talking about their creativity and that they're not copy and paste of other movies.
Mhm.
They're not copy and paste of themselves either. None of
Oh,
their movies are
no.
alike.
No.
That's what's amazing is there are directors that I love, but I know what's going to come from them.
Mhm.
Um, and that's fine. If you have a thing that
Yeah.
you're good at, do it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Do it.
But
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
also here for the people who I'm like, you made this movie and this movie?
That's what I'm telling you. Even though they are definitely themselves and they look the same, I watched all 3 of them before I realized they were the same filmmakers. I was like, we watched Stay, then we watched Himalaya, and I was like, I got to Ghost of Hiroshima, and I was like, this girl, I've seen her in something before. And then not only had I seen her before, but I'm pretty sure, is he the main guy? Maybe I'm spacing that. That might not be right. But she for sure is the main character in all 3 movies. I love her. I think she's great, by the way. Would love to talk to her. Like she's great.
Yeah.
And but yeah, these filmmakers, let me look up their names because I feel like we're not doing them as much justice. Let me find them really quick. So the writer director's name is Brandon Walker. I'm wrong. He doesn't act. Why did I think he was the main character in this? Is he the main character in another one? Um, so Jesse Lenore is the main character in this, but Brandon Walker is the filmmaker. He's the writer director. And then the main female lead that I keep raving about, her name is, and I apologize if I butcher this, is Shoko Rice. And she is in um all 3 of those movies. I swear to you, he was in one of them. Am I crazy? Maybe he was in Ghost. Either way, they're phenomenal filmmakers. Even if, a Yeti suit isn't your cup of tea, I do think that, you can appreciate the other movies. Okay, so let me fix what I butchered. So the guy that is the main in all of them is Robert Palmer Watkins. He plays the guy in the tent.
Okay.
And so he and wait a minute. I've butchered this completely. Let me back up. The 2 characters, the 2 actors are Robert Palmer Watkins, he's the main character. He plays the main character in Ghost of Hiroshima, and he's the guy in the tent. Ashley Park is the female lead. She's the one that plays the doctor, psychologist, whatever. In this movie, she is the real estate agent, whatever, renter in Ghost. And then she plays the main content creator character in Stay.
Yes.
The other one, Shoko Rice, I think was the guy's wife. That's who played
Okay.
that. So I got him mixed up. My apologies. But yeah, and Brandon Walker is the filmmaker. And so he's great. And they are great. And the 3 of them together, I feel like are gonna just take this subgenre by storm.
And I'll put it that this way for the team. They would
Yeah.
immediately jump to the top of my list of filmmakers I would love to see with a mainstream budget.
Yes.
Let me see what they can do with money on the table.
Himalaya
Because
sequel.
you know what? I'll take it. Because sometimes, again, like I
I'm
said,
just I'm
the
just trolling
concept.
you at this point.
No, here's the thing. Like I said, the concept loved this idea,
Yeah,
loved everything
really good.
that they were able to think of with this movie. It didn't land in its execution for me. So yes, let's if we need to remake Himalaya by the same team, but with a budget and give
With more
them a
money. Yeah.
$50,000 suit for a Yeti,
Yeah.
let's go.
Y'all email us if you do like a GoFundMe or an Indiegogo or whatever they're called, because I will
Yeah.
back those projects
Yeah.
100%. Well, cool. And if you guys are watching this and you want to come on and talk to us, let me
Yes.
know because you're welcome here. And I'm like working on trying to figure out where y'all are because I want to talk to you guys so bad. Because to watch 3 movies, I mean, that hadn't happened in this subgenre like ever. Because as much as I appreciate and respect Isaac Rodriguez, his movies sometimes are very difficult for me to get through. Um, God, he's so creative. I keep watching him anyway. But I would love to talk to the people behind Himalaya. So if you want to check these filmmakers out, of course, they're on Found TV. Just a reminder, you can get $5 off the annual subscription using keyword voices. Just VOICES will get you $5 or 10% off. I might have the $5 wrong, but it's 10% off the annual subscription. Highly recommend doing that. It goes to a really, really great place that respects filmmakers and really cares about its viewers. We think the world of Monica and Louis and what they're doing. So, as
Absolutely.
always, Mike's links will be in the description as well as our merch if you'd like to matchy us in their next episodes. They're so cute. The other ones still
And
haven't gotten
comfortable.
here. They are comfortable. I love this shirt. First of all, tie dye horror is like my jam. So I was like, there's a tie dye option on this website. Anyway, I digress. So you can also have tie dye horror if you'd like. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on this episode of Found Footage Fridays. We hope you have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. And Mike and I will see you next week.
Bye.